Welcome to My Books and Storytime by Mybooksandstorytime. Let's explore 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel García Márquez. Gabriel García Márquez's 100 Years of Solitude is a masterpiece of magical realism, chronicling the rise and fall of the Buendía family in the fictional town of Macondo. Spanning multiple generations, the novel explores themes of fate, time, love, war, and solitude. The novel is filled with extraordinary events, blending the mythical with the mundane, creating a narrative where magic and reality coexist seamlessly. The foundation of Macondo, a dream of paradise. The novel begins with José Arcadio Buendía and his wife, Ursula Iguaran, fleeing their hometown after a violent incident. José Arcadio has killed a man over a dispute about his wife's virginity, and the guilt drives him to search for a new beginning. Along with a group of settlers, they establish the town of Macondo, an idyllic yet isolated paradise, unconnected to the outside world. José Arcadio is a visionary, fascinated by discovery and invention. His obsession begins when a band of traveling gypsies, led by the enigmatic Melquiades, arrives in Macondo, bringing wondrous artifacts, magnets, telescopes, and ice. Among these marvels, José Arcadio becomes most captivated by alchemy and spends years trying to turn metal into gold. His experiments alienate him from his family and community, marking the beginning of the solitude that plagues his bloodline. Ursula, in contrast, is pragmatic and wise. She raises their children, José Arcadio, the eldest, and Aureliano, the younger, while managing the household and ensuring Macondo's survival. She fears that her family is cursed, a belief stemming from the fact that she and José Arcadio are cousins. The legend warns that children born of incest will have pig's tails, a prophecy that lingers throughout the generations. The first generation, passion and war. José Arcadio, the eldest son, is wild and impulsive. He runs away with the gypsies, leaving behind his pregnant lover, Pilar Ternera. His child, Arcadio, is raised in the Buendía household without knowing his true father. Meanwhile, Aureliano, the younger son, is quiet and introspective. He falls in love with Remedios Moscote, a child bride whom he marries when she comes of age. Their love is short-lived, as Remedios dies suddenly, reinforcing the theme of solitude in Aureliano's life. Aureliano becomes embroiled in the political struggles of the nation. He leads a series of liberal uprisings against the conservative government, transforming into Colonel Aureliano Buendía, a legendary and feared figure. He fights in 32 wars, surviving numerous assassination attempts, but ultimately, he grows disillusioned with politics. Returning home, he isolates himself, spending his final years making tiny gold fish in his workshop, a symbol of his futile attempts to impose order on a chaotic world. Meanwhile, José Arcadio returns home, transformed into a massive tattooed man. He marries Rebecca, an adopted daughter of the family, scandalizing the town. Their relationship is passionate yet destructive. As Macondo grows, so does its connection to the outside world. A banana company arrives, bringing modernization, but also exploitation and violence. The mid-generations, love, madness, and tragedy. Arcadio, the illegitimate son of José Arcadio, becomes a tyrannical ruler of Macondo during the wars, only to be executed by conservative forces. His children, José Arcadio II and Aureliano II, are near-identical twins but opposites in personality. José Arcadio II witnesses one of the novel's most harrowing events, the massacre of thousands of banana plantation workers who strike for better conditions. The government denies the massacre, erasing it from history. This trauma sends José Arcadio II into seclusion, reading the mystical parchments left behind by Melquiades. Aureliano II, in contrast, lives a life of excess. He marries the virtuous Fernanda del Carpio, but maintains an affair with the free-spirited Petra Coates. When his fortune vanishes due to a flood, he and Petra turn to breeding animals, which miraculously reproduce at an unnatural rate, bringing them immense wealth. However, this prosperity is fleeting, reflecting the novel's theme of cyclical rise and decay. Amidst the family's growing misfortunes, Remedios the beauty, an ethereal and innocent woman, ascends to heaven one day while folding laundry. Her miraculous departure exemplifies the novel's seamless blend of magic and reality. The Last Generation, The Curse of Solitude. As Macondo falls into decay, so too does the Buendía family. The last true Buendía, Aureliano, great-great-grandson of the original José Arcadio, falls in love with his aunt, Amaranta Ursula. Their incestuous love results in the birth of a child, who is born with the dreaded pig's tail. In a cruel twist of fate, Amaranta Ursula dies during childbirth, and the infant is devoured by ants, fulfilling the family's long-feared curse. Aureliano, left utterly alone, realizes that Melchiada's parchments, which he has spent years deciphering, contain the entire history of the Buendía family, past, present, and future. As he reaches the final words, he understands that he is reading the prophecy of his own destruction. At that moment, a hurricane engulfs Macondo, wiping it off the map, erasing its history, leaving nothing behind. Final thoughts. The cyclical nature of time and solitude. 100 Years of Solitude is a novel that defies traditional storytelling. Its narrative is nonlinear, looping back on itself, reinforcing the idea that history is doomed to repeat. The Buendía family, despite their brilliance and passion, are trapped by fate, unable to break free from their solitude. Marquez's magical realism transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, making ghosts, prophecies, and miracles as real as love and war. Yet beneath the magic, the novel is deeply human. It is a meditation on time, memory, and the inevitable decline of even the most powerful legacies. Macondo, like all civilizations, rises and falls. The Buendías, like all families, are bound by love, ambition, and tragedy. In the end, the novel leaves us with a haunting truth, that solitude, whether in power, love, or knowledge, is an inescapable force, and that those who fail to remember their past are doomed to disappear into oblivion. Stay tuned for more enlightening content. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe the world icons.